It's Cleveland Indians baseball. It's a night game, Saturday night game. I think this is the first night game that the Indians telecast in 1974. They had scheduled weeknight games already in Baltimore and Boston. Both, I think, were Monday or Tuesday night games, and they were both rained out. So I think this is the first night game. It's Saturday night. Let me see the date. June 26, 1971. This is game three in a four-game series. Cleveland won the first game of the series 8-6 in 10 innings. And they lost last night 7-3. Sam McDowell had a rough outing. He walked 11. And he let a lot of runners get on base, but he was pitching himself out of several jams until the bottom of the sixth. When he gave up 5 runs, the big hit being a double by Bill Freehan with the bases loaded. And that scored 3 runs. And the Indians ultimately ended up losing 7-3. Steve Hargan is back on the Indians roster, coming back from the disabled list. He's pitched pretty good in 2 relief outings since he's been back. I think I'm going to keep him in the bullpen, and I move Rich Hand to the bullpen. They're both the type of pitchers who seem like they could give you 4 or 5 good innings and then blow up for a bad inning around the 6th or 7th inning. So I've done this with Hargan in the past, where I'll restrict him to pitching maybe 2 or 3 innings and then taking him out for a pinch hitter, and I've gotten pretty good results from him. He's had a couple seasons where his arm trouble wasn't as bad and he was more reliable. See, yeah, 'cause he had a good rookie year. Then his first 3 years, or his first 2 years, pitched pretty good. Then he had some arm trouble. 1967, he went 9-21, but he had a 2.72 ERA. He had a 1.181 WHIP, which I think is pretty good. Yeah, and he went 3-18 in 1969. He had a rough year that year, but I like using him out of the bullpen better than as a starter. The Indians also sent John Lowenstein back down to Wichita, and they called Gomer Hodge and Kurt Bavacqua back up. Ted Uhlaender remains on the disabled list. They're expecting him back in early July, probably before the All-Star game. And they're missing him. He's having a good year. Penn Harrelson, the Hawk, unexpectedly retired. I saw in Sporting News that he had talked about it for about 2 weeks to the Indians front office about possibly doing this. But he retired. He's going to try to get on the pro golf tour. He's generally regarded as the best golfer among baseball players. I also kind of I think I ran down a rumor that I had seen earlier where Sam McDowell had held out for a part of spring training in a salary dispute, and an out of town sports writer quoted somebody anonymously who said that McDowell had been told that, just hold on for this year because the team will be in Dallas next year, 1972, and they'll be swimming in cash there. So you'll be able to get a raise. It turns out that Lamar Hunt, founder of the AFL and owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, was in negotiations to buy the Indians. But he dropped out because he thought that the Vernon Stouffer Group wanted too much money, and he wasn't sure that the AL owners would vote to allow a move to the Dallas area. So it looks like the cash poor Stouffer Group may be looking to sell out and let somebody buy the team, and possibly somebody from out of the area. There haven't really been rumors about the Indians moving since about 1965, when it was rumored that the team might go, and Seattle was most prominently named. And it turned out in 1969 that somebody who had been a veteran of the Indians front office became the general manager of the Seattle Pilots in their one-year season in Seattle. The Stouffer Group is known to be cash poor, and they pull the Indians out of the instructional league. They've cut down on their number of scouts, and they dropped a couple of their minor league affiliates. So they give the impression right now that they're running the team on a shoestring. And Vernon Stouffer's days as the owner of the Indians might be numbered. All right, we'll be back in a moment with the starting lineups for today's game. All right, we're at Tiger Stadium in Detroit. Ray Lamb will take the mound for Cleveland, while Bill Gilbreth gets the start for Detroit. It's 77 degrees. Wind speed is 9 miles per hour out to right field. Cleveland's starting lineup will be leading off the center fielder Vada Pinson. Batting second, the first baseman Chris Chambliss. Batting third, the catcher Ray Fosse. He has an 11-game hitting streak. Batting fourth, the right fielder Roy Foster. Batting fifth, the third baseman Greg Nettles. Batting sixth, the second baseman Fred Stanley. Batting seventh, the shortstop Jack Heidemann. Batting eighth, the left fielder Frank Baker. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Ray Lamb. On defense, the Tigers will have Dalton Jones at first base, Dick McAuliffe at second, Eddie Brinkman's the shortstop, Aurelio Rodriguez is at third, Jim Northrup is in left field, Al Kaline's in center field, Willie Horton in right field, Bill Freehan catching, and on the mound, Bill Gilbreth. Bill Gilbreth is making his first start of the year. And let me double check. Bill Gilbreth is making his major league debut. He's a hard-throwing youngster. He was called up June 25th, so he was called up yesterday. Right now, the Indians have a record of 24-46, so this is game number 71. They have the worst record in the American League. Only the Phillies and Expos have a worse record than Cleveland. Detroit, managed by Billy Martin in his first year as the Tiger manager, has a record of 36-36. So they are in fourth place in the AL East. They got off to a very rough start, but turned it around in the middle of May, so they're playing at 500 ball right now. Leading off for Cleveland is Vada Pinson. He's hitting .252 with 4 home runs and 18 runs batted in. Here's Bill Gilbreth with his first major league pitch. Fastball. Caught the outside corner, strike one. That's a breaking ball. That was high. Ball one. Hits a liner in a left field. Base hit. Northrup throws it back in. And here is rookie Chris Chambliss. He's off to a good start in his major league career. He's hitting .341 with 3 home runs and 11 runs batted in. Hitting .338 in June. A little bit of chin music. Ball one. Go to first. Pinson's back. Chambliss hits a slow roller back to the mound. Gilbert takes it. He's running to first. Can he beat Chambliss? No! Chambliss beats it out. That's a hit. Might have been better off tossing it to Dalton Jones, but who's to say? Here is Ray Fosse, who's hitting .298, 5 home runs and 41 runs batted in. As I noted earlier, Ray Fosse has an 11-game hitting streak. He's hitting .371 in June. Ball one. High and inside, ball two. Gilbreth, maybe his nerves are a little shaky right now. Swung at a bad pitch, strike one. Swing and a miss on a curveball, strike two. It's a grounder to first. Jones has it. Jones bobbles it. Oh, Fosse's safe. Bases loaded. Nobody out. That is the 10th error of the year for Dalton Jones. Here is Roy Foster, who's hitting 223, 10 home runs, and 32 runs batted in. Hitting 205 in June. Check the swing. Says he held up. Ball one. Down and in. Ball two. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Another swing and a miss. Strike two. Almost in the dirt. Ball three. Full count. Strike three called. 1 out. Here is Greg Nettles. He's hitting 285, 20 home runs, 59 runs batted in. He is tied for the American League lead in home runs. And he's second in the AL in runs batted in. Fastball, too low, ball one. Bases loaded, 1 out. Ball two. Ball three, 3 balls, no strikes. Caught the outside corner, strike one. High and in, ball four. That'll force in a run. Pinson scores. Cleveland takes a 1-0 lead. Here is Fred Stanley, another guy just up from Wichita, having an excellent start to his major league career. Hitting .351 with 1 home run and 10 runs batted in. Swing and a miss, strike one. Caught the outside corner, strike two. Stanley pops it up. It's in foul ground. Jones after it. But that makes the seats. No balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike three. Strikeout number 2 for Gilbreth. Here is Jack Heidemann. He's hitting .212, no home runs, and 2 runs batted in. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike one. Outside, ball one. Freehan had a jump for that one. Ball two. Strike two called. In tight, ball three. Full count, 2 outs, bases loaded. The payoff pitch. Heidemann hits a grounder to third. Rodriguez to throw to second. And that retires the side. Cleveland got 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error. They left 3 men on base. Could have been a lot worse for the kid, Gilbreth. We go to the bottom of the first. Cleveland 1, Detroit coming to bat. Detroit will have Aurelio Rodriguez, the third baseman, leading off. Batting second is the shortstop, Ed Brinkman. Batting third, the catcher, Bill Freehan. Batting fourth, the center fielder, Al Kaline. Batting fifth, the left fielder, Jim Northrup. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Willie Horton. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Dalton Jones. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Dick McAuliffe. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Bill Gilbreth. defense, Cleveland will have Chris Chambliss at first, Fred Stanley at second, Jack Heidemann at shortstop, Greg Nettles at third, Frank Baker in left, Vada Pinson in center, Roy Foster in right, Ray Fosse catching, and on the mound, Ray Lamb. Ray Lamb has appeared in 21 games this year, and this is his fifth start. He has one complete game. He has a record of 1-6 with an ERA of 5.49. He has walked 34, struck out 45. He's a fastball pitcher, and he's able to keep the ball low. Last start was against Detroit last weekend when Detroit was in Cleveland. He pitched 8 2/3 innings. He gave up 11 hits, 7 runs. They were all earned. He gave up 2 home runs. He struck out 4 and he walked 3. He took the loss when Detroit beat Cleveland 7-3. And against Detroit, he has a record of 0-1 with an ERA of 6.17. This is his third appearance against the Tigers this year. Leading off is Aurelio Rodriguez, hitting .225, 4 home runs, 28 runs batted in. He has a 9-game winning streak, or 9-game hitting streak right now. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Outside on the black, strike 3 called. Looks like Rodriguez was fooled on that one. 1 out. Here is Ed Brinkman hitting .291 with 1 home run and 18 runs batted in. Hitting .295 against Cleveland. The 0-2 pitch. It's a grounder to short. Heidemann's up with it. Throw to first. 2 outs. Here's Bill Freehan. He's hitting .288 with 7 home runs and 44 runs batted in. He got a big hit off of Sam McDowell last night, driving in 3 runs with a bases loaded double. Hitting .462 against the Indians. The 1-2 pitch. It's fly ball in center field. Pinson running over, and he's got it. 3 outs. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We played 1 in Detroit. The Indians lead the Tigers 1-0. Frank Baker leads off for the Indians. In the 8th, he's hitting .208, no home runs and 2 runs batted in. He is 2 for 7 so far in this series against Boston. He was called up by the Indians on June 11th. His best game so far was game at Fenway Park. The Indians won 4-2, and he went 3 for 4 that game. He has 5 doubles. The 2-1 pitch. Hits it on the ground to first. Jones bobbles it. Again, his second error of the game. Here is Ray Lamb, who's hitting .143, no home runs, no runs batted in. He is 2 for 14 as a hitter. He's a good bunter, and they're playing him to bunt. Bunts it right in front of the plate. Freehan up with it. He'll have to go to first. 1 out. Frank Baker advances to second. Here's Veda Pinson. He's 1-for-1 today. He led off the game with a single. Hits a grounder up the middle. Brinkman to his left. Got a late start on that. And Pinson beat out the hit. Pinson with an infield hit. But Baker was unable to advance on that. Here's Chris Chambliss. He's 1-for-1. He singled on the infield. His first time up when he beat Bill Gilbreth to first base. Hitting .444 against Detroit. Too high, ball one. Just missed, ball two. Ball three, 3-0. Fastball in at the knee, strike one. Low, ball four. That's his second walk of the game. For the second inning in a row, the Indians get the bases loaded. There's one out, and here is Ray Fosse, who's 0-for-1. He was safe on an error in the first. Hitting .367 in June and hitting .340 against lefties. Ball one. In the dirt. Gets past Freehand. Baker scores. Pinson advances to third. Chambliss advances to second. Calling that a wild pitch. 2 outs. Or ball two. 1 out. High, ball three. Ball four. Third walk of the game given up by Gilbreth. Here's Roy Foster, who is 0-for-1. He struck out in the first. Swing and a miss, strike one. Too low, ball two. It's fly ball to right field. Willie Horton coming in. Got it. And Pinson will tag and he'll score. That makes it 3-0 Cleveland. Here is Greg Nettles. He walked in the first inning, and that forced in a run. The grounder down the first base line, but that is foul. The 0-1 pitch. Too high, ball one. Wades. Oh, he got hit in the leg. Everybody moves up a base. Let's see here. Bill Gilbreth. Thrown 52 pitches, 25 have been strikes, 27 have been balls. I think it's a case of kid being nervous. And he'll likely get it out of his system soon enough. Here is Fred Stanley, who's 0-for-1. He struck out in the first inning. Outside, ball one. Inside, ball two. Strike one called. It's a base hit in the left field. Chambliss scores. Fossey scores. Nettles takes third. It's 5-0 Cleveland. We have runners at the corners. 2 outs. Here's Jack Heidemann, who's 0 for 1. He grounded into force play in the first inning. Low and in, ball 1. Here's some chin music. Ball 2. Ball 3. Ball 4. He walked on 4 pitches. Fourth walk of the game given up by Gilbreth. Here's Frank Baker. He's 0 for 1. That caught the inside corner. Strike 1. Baker was safe on an error to lead off the second inning. The Indians have batted around. Ball 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Strike 3 called. Third strikeout of the game for Gilbreth. The Indians got 4 runs on 2 hits, 1 error. They left the bases loaded. We go to the bottom of the second. It is Cleveland 5, Detroit nothing. Gilbreth has given up 5 runs in this game so far, but all 5 of those runs have been unearned. For the Tigers in the bottom of the second, it will be Al Kaline, Jim Northrup, and Willie Horton. Al Kaline's hitting .343, 8 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Al Kaline, the veteran, his career goes back to being a bonus baby in 1953. He has never played a game in the minor leagues. He was the MVP in 1963. He has a lifetime batting average of .303. He has 398 home runs, 2 more to reach 400. And he is 269 hits away from 3,000. So he's talking about wanting to play for 5 more years. So I think 3,000 hits for him is a very legitimate target. He leads the league in batting, the 2-2 pitch. Base hit in the right field. Kaline is hitting .452 against the Indians. He's 19 for 42 with 5 home runs and 16 runs batted in. His next high in runs batted in against a specific team, he has 6 against the Yankees. He was the MVP back in 1963, year that the Tigers won the World Series. Here is Jim Northrup hitting .292 with 11 home runs and 37 runs batted in. It's a liner down the first base line, but that is foul. Low the knees, ball 1. High and tight, ball two. I have to admit, I'm a little disappointed in Ray Lamb's performance so far in the first half of the season. I was expecting a little bit more from him. 2-1 pitch. Too high, ball three. Ball four. First walk given up by Lamb today. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. And here's Willie Horton, who's hitting .238. He has 7 home runs and 22 runs batted in. Thinking about 2.5 weeks. Be here at Tiger Stadium for the 1971 All-Star Game. Horton's hitting .235 in June. Fastball right at the knees, strike one. Inside, ball two, or ball one. Low, ball two. Hits a liner in the left field, base hit. K-Line stops at third. Tigers have the bases loaded, nobody out. Here's Dalton Jones, hitting .265 with 2 home runs and 15 runs batted in. Jones came over to Detroit last season from the Boston Red Sox, where he had played for several years. Even though Dick Williams is no longer associated with Boston, Dalton Jones was one of Dick Williams' favorite players. Guys like Dalton Jones and Mike Andrews were utility guys that Williams loved having around. Jones, base hit in the right field. K-Line scores. Bases remain loaded. It's 5-1. Here's Dick McAuliffe, who's hitting .187, 10 home runs and 36 runs batted in. Fly ball down the left field line. Baker's after it, but it makes the seats. Ball one. Swing and a miss, strike two. Up and away, ball two. Base hit in center field. Northrup scores. Bases remain loaded. Nobody out. Here is Bill Gilbreth. He's making his first major league appearance as a hitter. They're playing him the bunt just in case. Ball one. Swing and a miss, strike one. Fouls it back, strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike three. Strikeout number 2 for Lamb. Here is Aurelio Rodriguez. He's 0 for 1. He struck out in the first. He has a 9-game hitting streak going. This would be a bad time for him to continue that hitting streak. High and away, ball one. Try not to be a homer for the Indians, but sometimes I can't help it. Strike one called on a changeup. Boy, strikeout would be great right now. This is the kind of situation I'd be sitting at the stadium or Jacobs Field, just thinking strikeout or a pop out. Double play would be good too. High and inside, ball two. Ray Lamb is a ground ball pitcher, so he keeps it low. So double play doesn't seem like it would be all that unusual. In at the knee, strike two. Fly ball in the left field. Baker's there. He has it. Horton tags. Baker's throw. Going to be close. Horton slides. Fossey applies the tag. He's safe. It's 5-3, Cleveland. Tiger Stadium is like Fenway Park. No lead is safe in this ballpark. Here is Ed Brinkman. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out in the first. Caught the inside corner. Strike one. Pops it up. Third base side. Foul ground. Nettles after it. But it makes a seats. Strike two. Too low. Ball one. Inside. He checked the swing. Fossey appeals the first. No swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on. Swing and a miss, strike 3. But the Tigers get 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We played 2. It's the Indians 5, the Tigers 3. And I'm going to take a short timeout to get a drink of some Rocket Fuel malt liquor. This is WJST coming to you from Parma, Norwich, Tuscaloosa, and our newest affiliate, Utah. Top of the third for Cleveland. Ray Lamb leads off. He's hitting 143. No home runs, no runs batted in. He is 2 for 14 on the season. The 1-0 pitch. It's a ground ball to short. Brinkman to his right. Has it. Throws the first. 1 out. Here is Veda Pinson. He's 2 for 2 today. He singled in the first, and he had an infield single in the second. The 0-2 pitch. It's a grounder right back to the mound. This time, Gilbreth makes the toss over to first. 2 outs. Chris Chambliss, he's 1 for 1. He singled out to the infield in the first, and he walked in the second. 3-1 pitch. Too close. Ball 4. Fifth walk given up by Gilbreth. Here is Ray Fosse, who's 0 for 1. He was safe on an error in the first, and he walked in the second. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Ball 1. Ball 2. It's a grounder. Third. Rodriguez takes it. Tosses the second. 3 outs. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. We go to the bottom of the third. It is Cleveland 5, Detroit 3. Gilbreth had his first relatively easy inning as a major league pitcher in the top of the third. Bill Freehan leads off for Detroit in the bottom of the third. He is 0 for 1. He flied out in the first. The 0-2 pitch. It's fly ball in the left center. Pinson going back at the wall, and he's got it. 1 out. Here's Al Kaline. He is 1 for 1. He singled in the second. 3-0 pitch. High and inside. Ball 4. That's the second walk of the game given up by Ray Lamb. Here's Jim Northrup. He walked in the second. Too high. Ball 1. Pops it up. First base side, foul ground. Stanley's after it, but it's out of play. Shallow fly ball to center field. Pinson coming in, and he has it. 2 outs. Here is Willie Horton, who is 1 for 1. He singled in the second. Deep fly ball to center field. Pinson going back on the track. That's gone. Home run number 8 for Willie Horton. And the Tigers have tied the game 5-5. That is home run number 8 for Willie Horton. Here is Dalton Jones. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the second. That scored Al Kaline. 1-0 pitch. It's a shallow fly ball in the left field. Frank Baker coming in, and he's got it. 3 outs. But the Tigers get 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, no one left. We played 3. It is Cleveland 5, Detroit 5. And let's take a look around the league. A lot of finals to report at Fenway Park. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Red Sox beat the Orioles 14-7. Ray Culp got the win. One of the Robinsons got his 4th home run for Baltimore. I'm going to say that's probably Brooks Robinson. Final in Philadelphia, the Pirates beat the Phillies 4-2. Tim McCarver got his 5th home run for the Phillies. Doc Ellis got the win, and Chris Short got the loss. Chris Short is 0-10 on the season. The National League, yeah. East, the Pirates are off to a great start. Finally, Minnesota, the Brewers beat the Twins 7-5. Rod Carew went 3 for 5. Skip Lockwood got the win. Ron Peronowski took the loss. Final in St. Louis, the Cubs beat the Cardinals 5-2. Ron Santo hit his 14th home run of the year. Phil Hands got the win, and Chris Zachary got the loss. Final in Chicago, the White Sox beat the Angels 5-2. Rick Reichert got his 12th home run of the year for the White Sox. He's a former member of the Angels. Tommy John got the win. No report on who got the loss. And final in the second game of the doubleheader at Fenway, Orioles beat the Red Sox 6-0. One of the Robinsons went 3 for 4. Pat Dobson got the win. He's 10-5. And Sonny Siebert got the loss. Final in Oakland, the Royals beat the A's 2-0. Fred Patek hit his 7th home run. Mike Hedlund got the win. I think Hedlund threw a 3-hitter in that game. And Chuck Dobson got the loss. Final at Yankee Stadium, Yankees beat the Senators 14-2. Steve Klein got the win. Jim Schellenbach got the loss. Felipe Alou went 3 for 5 for the Yankees. Top of the 6th in Montreal, the Mets lead the Expos 4-2. Cleon Jones 3 for 4. That is Ray Sadecki against Steve Renko. Bottom of the 6th in Atlanta, the Braves lead the Reds 1-0. That is Jim McLaughlin against Tom Kelly. Right now, the National League West is the only division where first place team doesn't have at least a 10.5 game lead against the second place team. That division is led by the Dodgers, who are playing a doubleheader tonight against the Padres. With the Giants 3.5 games back, they're playing in Houston. And a lot of eyes on that game because Willie Mays sitting at 599 career home runs. They're waiting to see him hit his 600th. Now back to Tiger Stadium for the 4th inning. Roy Foster leads off for Cleveland. He's 0 for 1. He struck out in the first, and he had a sacrifice fly in the second. That scored Veda Pinson. 3-2 pitch. Low and away, ball 4. That is the 6th walk of the game given up by Gilbreth. And here's Greg Nettles. He walked in the first. That drove in a run. And he was hit by a pitch in the second. Fly ball down the right field line. Horton's after it. But it's out of play. Strike 1. Ball roller to short. Brinkman's only plays first. 1 out. Foster advances to second. Fred Stanley, he's 1 for 2. He struck out in the first, and he singled in the second. That drove in 2 runs. Hitting .400 with runners in scoring position. Hard grounder to short. Brinkman looks runner back to second. Throws him out. 2 outs. And here's Jack Heidemann. He's 0 for 1. Grounded into a force play in the first, and he walked in the second. On the inside corner at the knee, strike one. Just outside, ball one. Ball two. It's a grounder right back to the mound. Gilbreth throws him out. 3 outs, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. We are tied at 5 apiece. Dick McAuliffe leads off for Detroit. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the second, and that scored Jim Northrup. 1-2 pitch. It's a deep fly ball in the center field. Pinson going back at the wall, and he's got it. 1 out. Bill Gilbreth, he's 0 for 1. He struck out in the second. 3-2 pitch. Below the knees. Ball 4. Oh, he walks the opposing pitcher. Third walk of the game given up by Ray Lamb. Aurelio Rodriguez, he is 0 for 1. He struck out in the first. And he had a sacrifice fly in the second. Pops it up. Fossey back after it, but it's out of play. Low and inside, ball 1. Third inning at the Astrodome. No score between the Giants and the Astros. Swing and a miss, strike 2. It's a hard grounder to third. Nettles to second for 1. To first. In time, double play. 5-4-3 double play. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We played 4 in Detroit. We are tied at 5 apiece. Frank Baker leads off the 5th inning for Cleveland. He is 0 for 2. He was safe on an error, and he struck out, both in the second inning. 2-2 pitch. Pops it up to the catcher. Free hand, waiting for it. And he makes the catch. 1 out. Ray Lamb, he's 0 for 1. He had a sacrifice bunt in the second, and he grounded out in the third. 3-1 pitch. Inside, ball 4. And Gilbreth returns the favor, walking the opposing pitcher. That is the 7th walk of the game given up by Gilbreth. Here's Veda Pinson. He's 2 for 3. Singled in the first, singled in the second, and grounded out in the third. Hitting .291 in June. Swung at a bad pitch, strike 1. Pinson was slumping in May, but he had came back and been having an excellent month in June. High and inside, ball 1. Low and outside, ball 2. It's a grounder to second. McAuliffe. Second for 1. Throw to first. Not in time. Well, so here's Chris Chambliss, who's 1 for 1. He singled in the first, walked in the second, and walked in the third. In there below the belt, strike 1. Low, ball one. Go to first, pitch is back. It's a grounder up the middle. McAuliffe to his right, has it, throws it first. 3 outs. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Cleveland 5, Detroit 5. Cleveland has 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors. They've left 9 men on base. Detroit has 5 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. They have left 2 men on base. All 5 of Cleveland's runs have been unearned today. Ed Brinkman leads off in the 5th for Detroit. He is 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. The 0-2 pitch. It's a blooper up the middle, base hit. Here is Bill Freehand, who's 0 for 2. Flied out in the 1st, flied out in the 3rd. That was high, ball 1. Low, ball 2. High and inside, ball 3. This is a game with 2 pitchers struggling with their control. This would have me really squirming at the ballpark. Strike 1 called. 3 balls and 1 strike. Swinging him at strike 2. It's another deep fly ball into center field. Pinson going back at the wall, and he's got it. All 3 of Freehand's flyouts today have been to the wall. 1 out, and here is Al Kaline, who is 1 for 1. Singled and walked. Too high, ball 1. Ball 2. Too low, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. They are underway in the first game of a doubleheader, rare doubleheader. The Dodgers hardly ever schedule doubleheaders. That goes all the way back to their days in Brooklyn. No score between Padres and the Dodgers. Right at the knees, strike 1. In there at the knees, strike 2. Pops it up, third base side in foul territory. Nettles after it, but it makes the seats. It's 1 hopper to first. Chambliss to second for 1. Back to first. Double play. 3-6-3 double play. No runs, no 1 hit, no errors, no one left. We have played 5 complete. It's an official game here in Detroit. Cleveland 5, Detroit 5. Ray Fosse leads off the 6th for Cleveland. He's 0 for 2. He was safe on an error. He walked and he grounded into a force play. It's an 11-game hitting streak going. Hitting 363 in June. The 0-2 pitch. Bounces it right back to Gilbreth. Tosses to first. 1 out. After his shakiness in the first inning and second inning, Gilbreth looks like he's settled down. He has given up at least one walk in each inning, but he's looking a little more comfortable out there now. Here's Roy Foster. He's 0 for 1. He struck out, hit a sacrifice fly, and he walked. 2-2 pitch. It's a line drive right at second base. McAuliffe leaps, and he's got it. What a catch by McAuliffe. 2 outs. Here is Greg Nettles, who's 0 for 1. He walked. He was in that forced in a run. He was hit by a pitch, and he grounded out. The 0-2 pitch. It's another grounder back to the mound. Gilbreth throws him out. 3 outs. Nothing across for Cleveland in the top of the 6th. It is 5-5. Bill Gilbreth, he made 4 assists today so far. And he also had the first grounder hit to him. He tried to outrun the runner to first. And he didn't make it. But he has fielded 5 ground balls. And I have to take a short break for a little more Rocket Fuel malt liquor and some aspirin. We'll be right back. And we're back. Despite their lousy record, I'm kind of enjoying these 1971 Cleveland Indians because their hitters are doing a decent job keeping them in games. Unfortunately, their pitching is just subpar and lets too many games get away. And the pitchers they got, I mean, they are not bad pitchers. It just seems like everyone is having an off year. Jim Northrup leads off for Detroit in the 6th. He is 0 for 1. He walked and he flied out. The 1-1 pitch. It's a grounder to second. Stanley is up with it. Throw to first. 1 out. Here is Willie Horton. He's 2 for 2. Singled in the second, and he hit a 2-run homer in the third that tied the game. Willie Horton, I think, at this point, is probably the most popular member of the Detroit Tigers. Let me look up real quick here. I'm sorry for the delay. Willie Horton was born in Virginia, but I believe he grew up in Detroit. He was a star high school ball player in Detroit and signed with the Tigers in 1961, before the Major League draft started. That was in 1965. And he has been a regular with the Tigers since 1965. 2-2 pitch. Strike three call. Strikeout number 4 for Ray Lamb. All right, I apologize for the delay. Dalton Jones is up. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the second and flied out in the third. The 1-1 pitch. Rounder to third. Nettles is up with it. Go to first. 3 outs. Nothing across for Detroit in the 6th. We played 6 in Detroit. Cleveland 5, Detroit 5. Here is Fred Stanley. He is 1 for 3. He singled in the second. 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. 8th walk of the game given up by Gilbreth. Here's Jack Heidemann. He is 0 for 2. He walked in the second inning. Ball 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Caught the outside corner. Strike 2. Second inning at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers lead the Padres 4-0. Padres were essentially my home team when I was in the Navy, when I spent most of my time there, stationed out of the naval base in San Diego. Naval base at 32nd Street. Heidemann his shell fly ball into center field. K-line coming in. He's got it. 1 out. Here comes Billy Martin, and that'll be all for Gilbreth. It'll get a hand for the Detroit fans. Got off to a shaky start in his major league debut, but he settled down. And did fairly well. I mean, aside from the walks, he had role problems, but he was getting out of jams. Gave up 5 runs. They were all unearned. Brett Sherman's coming in to pitch, making his 30th appearance of the year. He has a record of 6-4 with 9 saves. An ERA of 2.67. Here's Frank Baker, who's 0 for 3. Swing and a miss, strike 1. It's a fly ball in center field. K-line drifting over, and he's got it. 2 outs. Here is Ray Lamb. He's 0 for 1. A sacrifice bunt. He grounded out, and he walked. Like Gilbreth Lamb was shaky in the early innings, and he settled down. Swing and a miss, strike one. Just a bit outside, ball one. Ball two. Swing and a miss, strike two. Inside, ball three. Just a bit low, ball four. That's the second time Lamb walked today. Here is Veda Pinson. He's 2 for 4. Single in the first, and he had an infield single in the second. Hits a fly ball in center field. K-line to his right, and he has it. 3 outs. No runs, no hits, no errors, two left. We go to the bottom of the seventh. We are tied at 5 apiece. Final in Atlanta. Braves beat the Reds 4-1. Young Darrell Evans hit his 11th home run for Atlanta. Tom Kelly got the win, and Clay Carroll got the loss. Bottom of the second, Dodgers lead the Padres in game one of a doubleheader, 4-0. That is Claude Osteen against Steve Arlen. Steve Arlen was probably the greatest baseball player to come out of my alma mater, Ohio State University. And top of the ninth in Montreal, the Expos lead the Mets now 6-4. Rusty Staub is 3 for 4. That is Ron Taylor against Steve Renko. Dick McAuliffe leads off for Detroit in the bottom of the seventh. He is 1 for 2 today. Singled in the second, driving in a run, and he flied out in the fourth. The 1-0 pitch. Pops it up on the infield. Nettles takes charge, and he's got it for 1 out. Here is the pitcher's spot. Fred Sherman. Let's see if there's a pinch hitter. Tony Taylor coming in to pinch hit. Tony Taylor, he was acquired by the Tigers at the trade deadline. Came over from the Philadelphia Phillies. Till June 13th, he was a career National Leaguer going back to 1958. Cubs, and then they traded him to the Phillies early in the 1960 season. And he was with the Phillies ever since, up until 2 weeks ago. In the American League, he is hitting 200. He's 1 for 5. And he is 1 for 4 as a pinch hitter. 2-2 pitch. It's a grounder to short. Heideman's up with it. Go to first, bang, bang, play, and he is out. 2 outs. Now, the last 3 or 4 innings or so, this is the Ray Lamb I was expecting when Cleveland acquired him from the Dodgers. He came over with Alan Foster in the trade for Duke Sims. I had him with the Dodgers last season. He was a decent relief pitcher. Never made a start with the Dodgers, and he's been a spot starter with the Indians. But I think I pulled Rich Hand out of the starting rotation. I've been using either Ray Lamb or Vince Colbert to start in his place. Vince Colbert, he's probably been the most consistent pitcher on the Indians this season. Here is Aurelio Rodriguez. He is 0 for 2. He has a 9-game hitting streak on the line. 2-2 pitch. Base hit into left field. He extends his hitting streak to 10 games. That's the seventh hit given up by Ray Lamb, but there's only been one extra base hit in this game, and that was Willie Horton's home run in the third inning. Here is Ed Brinkman, who's 1 for 3. He singled in the fifth. In the sixth at the Astrodome, Giants lead the Astros 2-0. No report on whether Willie Mays hit home run number 600. Swing and a miss, strike one. I was too young to think about guys like Henry Aaron and Willie Mays hitting their 600th home run, but I vividly remember Hank Aaron chasing Babe Ruth at the end of the 1973 season and early in the 1974 season. Fouls it back. Count remains 0-2. Pops it up, first base side. Oh, I just thought of when I mentioned Steve Arlen from Ohio State earlier. I forgot to give my spoiler alert. Spoiler alert: Steve Arlen, future member of the Cleveland Indians. Base hit in right field. Rodriguez rounds second. He'll take third. Runners at the corner. 2 outs. And the always dangerous Bill Freehan up. He is 0 for 3. He's flat out 3 times today. All 3 of his flyouts were at the wall. Man, he is hitting 429 against the Indians. 18 for 42 with 5 doubles and 7 runs batted in. Do not like seeing him and K-Line coming up next in this spot. Too high, ball one. Right down the middle, strike one. Swing and a miss, strike two. It's a high fly ball in right field. Foster going back on the track, and he's got it. 3 outs. Ray Lamb worked his way out of a jam there. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. They left 2 on base. We played 7 in Detroit. It is Cleveland 5, Detroit 5. New pitcher for Detroit. It is Joe Negro, the younger brother of the Atlanta Braves pitcher Phil Negro. Joe Negro, he was born in Martins Ferry, Ohio, right down by the Ohio River, near the Ohio and West Virginia border. This is his 14th appearance of the year. He is 3-5 with a 5.66 ERA. He's a knuckleball pitcher, just like his brother. He has walked 21. He has struck out 14. Chris Chambliss leads off for the Indians in the 8th inning. He is 1 for 2. That's single and 2 walks today. The 0-1 pitch. Bouncer right back to the mound. Negro has it and throws him out. 1 out. Here is Ray Fosse. He's over 3 today. He has an 11-game hitting streak on the line. 1-2 pitch. Bouncer to first. Jones has it. He'll take it himself. 2 outs. Here is Roy Foster. He's over 2 today. He had a sacrifice fly in the second. Drove in a run. Hitting 200 in June. It's a base hit in the left field. Bregman dove, but he couldn't come up with it. Here is Greg Nettles. He's over 2. He had a walk and he was hit by a pitch. Foster's going. Freehand fires on a second. He's safe. That is stolen base number 5 for Roy Foster. Pitch was a ball. Ball 1. Strike 1 called. It's a grounder to third. Rodriguez. Go to first. In time. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. We are tied at 5 apiece. Ray Lamb back out for what will probably be his final inning. Al Kaline leads off for Detroit. He is 1 for 2. He has a single, a walk, and he grounded into a double play. The 1-1 pitch. It's a deep fly ball in the left field. Baker going back, and it's gone. Home run number 9 for Al Kaline. And the Tigers take the lead. It is 6-5 Detroit. They got to be talking to themselves in the Indians' dugout after in the bottom of the second. They went in the bottom of the second, leading the game 5-0. Now they are behind 6-5. Here is Jim Northrup. He is over 2 today. He has a walk. Bill Hennigan gets up to warm up for the Indians. It's a blooper in the right field base hit. Here is Willie Horton. He's 2 for 3. Single to the second. He hit a 2-run homer in the third that tied the game 5-5. Swing and a miss, strike one. Gets away from Fosse. Northrup takes second. Oh, they're calling that a pass ball. And they're going to walk Horton. Have runners on first and second. Nobody out. Here's Dalton Jones, who's 1 for 3. Singled in second. That drove in Al Kaline. High and outside, ball one. It's a high hopper back to the mound. Lamb has it. He called him safe. Oh, that looked like a bad call. Bases loaded, nobody out, and here comes Alvin Dark. And that will be all for Ray Lamb. Bill Hennigan coming in to pitch. He's making his 19th appearance of the season. He has a record of 1-1 with 3 saves, an ERA of 6.75. Here's Dick McAuliffe. He is 1 for 3. He singled in the second. That drove in a run. These are drawing the infield in to make a play at the plate. Inside, ball one. Swing and a miss, strike one. Fly ball in the left field. Frank Baker drifting back. He's got it. Northrup tags. And it is 7-5 Detroit. 1 out. Runners on first and second. Joe Niekro's up. He is hitting .063 with no home runs, 2 runs batted in. He is 1 for 16. See if he hits or if they bring in call a pinch hitter. Oh, Niekro is hitting. Corners come in. Niekro is an excellent butter. Ball one. He bunts it. Hennigan throws to third to Heidemann to throw to first. Didn't get him. Watch that again. They got Horton at third. Heidemann's throw to first, not in time. There's 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Here is Aurelio Rodriguez. He is 1 for 3. He extended his hitting streak to 10 games. High and outside, ball one. Swing and a miss, strike one. Another swing and a miss, strike two. Outside, ball two. Flag, strike three called. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. We played 8. Detroit has taken the lead, 7-5. Mike Brown coming in to play first base for Dalton Jones. Top of the ninth. Detroit took the lead 7-5 in the bottom of the eighth. And Fred Stanley leads it off. He is 1 for 3 today. Hitting .356 against right-handers and .373 in June. Ball four. Pitch hitting for Jack Heidemann will be Eddie Leon. Leon was getting the day off today, but he is called in to pinch hit. He is hitting .296, 2 home runs, 26 runs batted in. 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter. Strike one called. Knuckleball outside, ball one. It's a blooper into right field. Base hit. That went into right center, and L. Kaline made the quick throw back in. Stanley had to stop at second. Pitch hitting for Frank Baker is Luke Tomilli. Tomilli's hitting .282, no home runs, 4 runs batted in. As a pinch hitter, he is hitting .667 with 1 run batted in. He is 8 for 12 as a pinch hitter with 2 doubles. Runners on first and second, nobody out. The Indians are down by 2. Swing and a miss, strike one. Chuck Hinton is on deck. Pinch hitting, he will be pinch hitting for Phil Hennigan. Ball one. Fouls it back, strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outside, ball 2. Low and outside, ball 3. He works the count full. Ball 4, bases loaded. Nobody out. And here is Chuck Hinton. He's sitting in even 200, 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in. As a pinch hitter, he's sitting .286 with 1 home run and 4 runs batted in. Bases loaded, nobody out. Indians are down by 2 in the top of the ninth. It's 4 for 14 as a pinch hitter. Swing and a miss, strike one. Swung and miss at the knuckleball, strike 2. Vince Colbert warming up for the Indians. Knuckleball outside, ball 1. Blowing away, ball 2. Field is playing halfway. Fred Stanley's not the fastest runner, so they're moving back between regular depth and halfway depth. Ball three, full. He works the count full. Three tall. One out. Here is Veda Pinson. He's 2 for 5 today. Singled in the first, and he singled in the second. Chambliss is on deck. It's fly ball in center field. K-line to his left. Has it. And they're going to hold Stanley at third. 2 outs. Indians are down to their last out. It's Chris Chambliss, who is 1 for 3. He had a single on the infield in the first, and he had a pair of walks. Walked in the second and walked in the third. It's a sharp grounder, first base side, but it's foul. Caught the outside corner, strike 2. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Indians down by 2 in the top of the 9th. Chambliss hits a grounder up the middle. Brinkman has it, throw to first, and that's the ball game. Another Indians loss, but like I said, they made it exciting. I remember a lot of games like that when I was a kid at the ballpark. Indians teams that weren't that good, but it seemed like we went to more games than that even if they didn't win, that they made it a good game. Detroit had 7 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors. They left 6 men on base. Cleveland had 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They left 15 men on base. Tonight they just couldn't get the hits, I guess, when they needed them. Joe Niekro gets the win. He's 4 and 5. Ray Lamb takes the loss. He drops to 1 and 7. Willie Horton went 2 for 3 with a home run, 2 runs batted in. He hit the home run in the third that tied the game, 5-5. And Al Kaline, an Indians nemesis going back 15 years, 2 for 3 with a home run. Cleveland, Pinson went 2 for 6. Fred Stanley 1 for 3. He had 2 runs batted in. All 5 of the Indians' runs were unearned today. Dalton Jones having made errors in the first inning and the second inning. Gilbreth made his major league debut. He pitched 6 1/3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 5 unearned runs. He walked 8 and he struck out 3. He actually threw more balls than strikes. He threw 65 balls, 64 strikes. Ray Lamb pitched 7 innings. He gave up 11 hits, 7 runs, all earned. He gave up 2 home runs, walked 4, struck out 4. "17 hits today, and only 2 of them were extra base hits. There was Willie Horton's 2-run homer in the third and K-Line's solo home run in the 8th. Star of the game is Willie Horton. It's always interesting to see somebody come out, make their major league debut. Seemed like Gilbreth, he had a case of the nerves. Had trouble with his control, but might have just been from being nervous. Still has an ERA of 0. So we'll see what happens with him in the future. Indians batted around in the second. Scored 4 runs, but they left the bases loaded. And let's see what other innings they... And they left the bases loaded in the 9th. They had the bases loaded with nobody out, but couldn't score. So once again, our final score from this night game at Tiger Stadium: the Tigers 7, the Indians 5. Hope you enjoyed this game. Indians may have had it look like a nice rally starting in the 9th, but couldn't get the men across the plate. Once again, final score: Detroit 7, Cleveland 5. Hope you enjoyed this game, and thank you for watching.